A group of friends, Emily, Jack, Sarah, and Leo, are on a road trip. They get lost after taking an unfamiliar route and find themselves in a remote area with dense forests and foggy terrain. They stumble upon a creepy, rundown village with no signs of life. Emily, this isn't even on the map. Have any of you heard of Shadow Creek?
Shadow Creek, I've heard stories. They say it's haunted. The locals all disappeared. No one knows why.
They look at the abandoned houses, some with broken windows and rusted doors. As they continue through the village, they notice strange carvings on the walls, symbols of knives, razors, and blades of all kinds. They come across a lone, disheveled old man standing by the road, staring at them with hollow eyes. He holds a small, rusty blade and appears nervous.
Leave this place. The blade collector will find you. He doesn't let anyone escape.
The friends exchange uneasy glances, but they decide to brush off his warning, thinking he's just a madman.
It's just an old village. Nothing's going to happen to us.
They continue exploring, unaware that the old man is watching them from a distance, muttering something under his breath. Night falls, and they decide to take shelter in one of the abandoned houses. The house is dark, with flickering lights and broken furniture covered in dust. As they settle down, they start hearing whispers.
Did anyone else hear that? It sounded like scraping metal.
They follow the sound to a room where they find an old dust-covered knife collection displayed on the wall, each blade appearing ancient, rusted, and covered in faint dark stains. Emily, media, person looking disturbed in front of creepy collection, uneasy reaction to unsettling objects. Who would keep something like this? It's just unsettling. Suddenly, the lights flicker, and they hear footsteps approaching down the hallway. They turn to see a shadowy figure at the end of the hall, holding a gleaming blade.
You've seen my collection. Now, you'll become part of it.
The figure lunges forward, slashing at them. They scream and run, but not before the figure grazes Leo's arm, drawing blood. They escape the house, but the village seems different. Darker, more twisted. Each building now has strange symbols painted in what looks like blood, all showing various types of blades.
The exit! It's gone! We're trapped!
The shadowy figure appears again, this time with two blades in hand. He's closer, his eyes gleaming with a disturbing hunger.
It's him, the blade collector.
Many have come, but none have left. Your fear will feed the edge of my blade.
They try to split up and find a way out, but Sarah is soon cornered in a narrow alley. The collector appears behind her, silent and swift. She turns and he grins, holding up a long, serrated blade.
Please, no, don't.
He tilts his head, studying her fearfully before slowly, methodically dragging the blade across her arm, then her other arm, inflicting deep cuts. Sarah tries to scream, but he places a hand over her mouth.
Screaming only sharpens the blade.
He raises his knife and slashes across her throat with brutal precision. Blood sprays onto the walls, and the scene fades as Sarah's body falls to the ground, her eyes wide with horror. The others regroup, realizing Sarah is gone. Emily is shaking, her face pale.
He's not human. He moves too fast, like he's everywhere.
They come up with a plan to try and lure the collector into a trap using one of the old houses. They set up wires and shattered glass around the entrance, hoping to injure or slow him down. They hide in the shadows as the collector approaches, his movements eerily silent. As he steps through the door, he sets off the trap, stumbling slightly on the glass and wire. But he grins, unaffected, as he lifts a new blade, sharper and more vicious than the others.
Traps can't hurt me. I'm the blade, and the blade is me.
The lights flicker, and suddenly the collector is gone. Jack hears a sound behind him and turns, but the collector appears in front of him, slicing through his chest with a swift, brutal motion.
Screaming, Jack!
She and Leo watch in horror as Jack falls, clutching his chest, his clothes soaked in blood. They make a run for it, their breaths shallow, hearts pounding. Emily and Leo find themselves back at the old man's hut. The old man is still there, watching them with sad, knowing eyes.
You can't defeat him. He's cursed, bound to this village by the very blades he wields. To escape, you must take his blade and sever his connection to this place.
Leo finds an old ceremonial dagger with inscriptions on the blade.
This is it. We have to end him with this.
They confront the collector in the village center. He moves with unnatural speed, his blades glinting in the moonlight as he attacks them. Emily barely dodges a slash, and Leo stabs him with the ceremonial dagger. The collector staggers, a look of shock crossing his face. He lets out a blood-curdling scream as shadows begin to pour from his body, like dark smoke.
In a pained whisper, "No! My blades! They belong to me!"
The shadows consume him and he collapses, his body disintegrating into ash. The village lights flicker back to normal and the eerie atmosphere lifts. Emily and Leo stagger out of the village, exhausted and bloodied, finally finding the road they had lost. The scene shifts to Emily as she looks back at the village one last time.
Weakly. It's over. He's gone.
Is he though? I feel like he'll never truly leave us, don't...
The camera pans down, showing a small, gleaming blade half buried in the dirt, still covered in dark, drying blood. Some blades were never meant to be found. The screen fades to black.